welcome to this episode of Peace Now. Today, we're going to be talking about peace and empathy, which lately has been lost upon our fellow citizens, at least here in the United States. But I have a feeling around the world, we could use a little bit more empathy in our lives. Empathy is caring about another the way you care for yourself. And certainly, that poses some great challenges to society today, a society that's overcome with self-interest and consumerism. But let's go on a journey and talk a little bit about empathy as a way to move toward a more peaceful existence. As you know, we're always talking about peace, people, planet, and prosperity in the biggest sense or the largest sense of the word. So today we begin by talking about empathy because it's so important for us to move into an era of peace in the world. The ability to understand and share the feelings of others is how we can describe empathy. And this is moving from ourselves out into a broader world of cooperation and actually doing for your fellow person on earth. So we have Goober here again. Goober, I know you care about me. But empathy is about hearing another or putting yourself into another's shoes so that you understand the world in which they walk. And you can walk with them with more compassion and more understanding and more belief in the worth of all people in our society. Martin Luther King said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And of course, I believe that is true. And justice is a big part of empathy, social or economic or climate, racial or worker justice. All need to be thought about when we think about how to empathize with our fellow human beings. The United Nations has a score of plans and goals for sustaining our planet. And one of them is peace, justice, and strong institutions, so that we stand up for human rights and the ability of everyone in the world to live in peace and in harmony with one another. And I commend to you the UN goals for sustainability and for taking a look at those when you have time to search for them. Well, caring for our planet is also empathy. And when we have empathy and the environment as an issue, we make sure that the world is safe and sustained for all of us to live and to prosper as human beings. That's a big part of how we can plan for a strong legacy in the future to save, to protect, to nurture our planet Earth. And that's part, of course, of our peace plan for the future. Well, Goober, empathy is seeing with the eyes of another, listening with the ears of another, and feeling with the heart of another. That's what it comes down to. And it's a pretty easy task if you think about it. Oh, I know. Goober went and found a quote from Robert Ingersoll: "We rise by lifting others." And nothing could be further from the truth than not listening to others and trying to say that you're empathetic. But rising by lifting others means that you have others in your thoughts as you go about your daily routines. I picked some quotes that I thought were very interesting on empathy. From Mother Teresa: "If we have no peace, it's because we have forgotten that we belong to each other." From Maya Angelou: "I think we all have empathy. We may not have enough courage to display it." And that certainly is the notes of courage and empathy, being popular, but also being empathetic, is a very important point today as we all strive to get eyeballs for our messages and seek the adoration of the masses. We need to have courage to put empathy first. Bill Bullard said the highest form of knowledge is empathy. And then he went on to say, "For it requires us to suspend our egos and live in another's world. It requires profound, purpose larger than self kind of understanding. And Arnott Roy said, empathy may be the single most important quality that must be nurtured to give peace a fighting chance. And I'll end with a saying from Barack Obama, which I think is pretty relevant to this discussion. Learning to stand in someone else's shoes, to see through their eyes, that's how peace begins. And it's up to you to make that happen. Empathy is quality of character that can change the world. And indeed, peace starts with empathy. And I hope all of us will take a moment to think as we walk through our days ahead how empathy can lead us to that ultimate goal of peace in the world we share with others. We'll see you for the next episode of Peace Now soon.